Okay, grade sevens. You are supposed to do your revision activity number 12. You should know how to do it, but let me explain again. You are only going to do number 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the other page. So let's start over here. They say make your own sequence. The rule is multiply by 3 and subtract 1. The first thing that you do, you write it down. You write rule. Multiply by 3 times 3. Subtract 1 minus 1. Now they tell you, start your pattern with 1 and write down the first 5 terms. So you're going to start the pattern. First one in the pattern is going to be number 1. Then you're going to say 1 times 3. That gives you 3. Minus 1 will give you 2. Next one. I take the 2. Times 3 gives me 6. Minus 1, 5. And then you keep on going until you have the first 5 terms. So you need 2 more. Now over here they say, give the rule to describe the relationship between the numbers in the sequence. The relationship is always from the top to the bottom. That's the relationship between the x and the y, the input and the output. So what happened from the input to the output? Now, if I just look at this quickly, I can see 3 times 3 will give me 9, and 2 times 3 will give me 6. 4 times 3 will give me 12. So I can see my rule will be times 3. Now, if I have to write that in relationship, this one to that one, input to output, it will be my answer here of, let me look at this one, my answer here, y equals 2 times 3, x times 3. Y equals x times 3. So if they tell me it's 10 times 3, 30. You do these exactly the same way. Just look at this. Do you recognize these numbers? You should recognize them by now. These are what? 1 times 1 times 1 gives me 1. 2 times 2 times 2, 8. 3 times 3 times 3 gives me 27. 4 times 4 times 4, 64. They are cubed numbers. This I will write as y equals my output. It's my y, this is my x. My output is equal to x times x times x. X times x times x. Okay, you've got to do something here to find the answer, always from there to there. That's how you do it. Number 5. On the first day, Colin runs 2 kilometers. So, first thing that you do, draw a table. That's step number 1. My input and my output. On the first day, second day, third day, fourth day. That's how you do it. First day, Colin runs 2 kilometers. On the second day, he runs 5 kilometers. And on the third day, there's my third day, he runs 8 kilometers. How far will he run on the 10th day? Now they are looking for the 10th day. Okay, that's going to be my 10th day if the pattern continues. So you've got to find the relationship between that number and that number. This number and that number. Looks like could be times 3 minus 1 gives me 8. 2 times 3 minus 1. Yep, that's it. Okay, you've got to go and sort it out. Write down rule equals times 3 minus 1. Then you write it like that. Then you find the answer for me. Number 6. These octagons, remember, octagon, 8 sides, have been constructed with matchsticks. So if I used 8 matchsticks to build the first one, the next one, I already have that side in this pattern. So it's going to be 8 plus 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be 8 plus 7 plus 7. So if you look at this pattern, just look at the table that they gave you. In the first pattern, pattern number 1, I used 8 matchsticks. In pattern number 2, I used 8 plus 7 matchsticks. There we've got 15. Plus another 7 gives me 22. Now, the relationship will be, to find the rule, I'm going to work from there to there. From there to there. How did I get from 3 to 22? Well, first thing that I ask myself, what is the closest that I'm going to get to 22 when I multiply with 3 times what? It's going to give me close to 22. I can try it times 7. 3 times 7, 21 plus 1. Now I need to go and check. Does that work there? 2 times 7, 14. Yes, plus 1, it works. 1 times 7, 7 plus 1 gives me 8. Now you've got to go and apply it to the x value. Apply it to that one. And then they ask you, what happens to n? Well, you take that number, n, times 7 plus 1. That's going to be my answer over there. We did that in the class yesterday. I think we did it 2 or 3 times. Okay. Read the questions, answer. Now over here. Okay. Let me just see. That fits in. Let me just highlight this for you. Okay, these mosaic tiles were colored in. Okay, now they say, mosaics are patterns made of small tiles. So these are all small tiles. These ones were colored in. They were the gray tiles, like that. You can see that over there. Okay, now, the company, Tyler Floor, produces mosaics in the form of squares of different sizes as the diagram shows below. Each small tile is a square with a side of 1 centimeter. That means that this little tile over here, this part is 1 centimeter, and that part is also 1 centimeter over there. So how many tiles do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in pattern number 1, I have 5 squares. That's pattern number 2. So this was 1, that's 2, and this one's 3. How many squares do I have? How many mosaic tiles do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 number of green tiles. In pattern number 3, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Then they tell you in pattern number 4, you'll get 17 of those tiles. Now you've got to work out what happened from there to there. What is my rule once again? When I have the rule, apply it to the x value, to the 6, and to the n value. Then they ask you, what happened in pattern number 15, pattern number 40, and pattern number 100? Okay, you'll be able to do that. We did that in the class. Number 8, here they say, at its current growth rate, the Democratic Republic of Congo's population doubles every 22 years. So, if I had a population of 10 people, it means that in 22 years' time, if it doubles, I will have 20 people. But now they are telling you, in 2012, you write everything down as you go on. In 2012, its population was approximately 67 million. So in 2012, I had 67 million people. Now, should the growth rate remain constant, in which year will the population be 268 million? 268 million. So if it doubles every 22 years, so if I add 22 years to 2012, I'm going to end up with 20. Look there, I'm adding 22 years, 4302. So in 2034, I have to double this number. So 67, if I double 67, it's going to be 120 plus 14, 134 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's what I'm going to have in 2034. But I want to know what's going to happen when I have 268 million people. Now let me double this again. If I double 134 million, double that number, that gives me 268. 268 million. 268 million. Now, it doubled in how many years? In 22 years. So if I add 22 years to 2034, I'm going to get? That's the year that I'm going to get. So you've got to go and work this out on your own. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you have a lovely day. See you on Friday. And remember, you need to mark this. So you've got to do this. On Thursday, I'm sending you the memo. You are marking it with a blue pen. You are handing in on Friday. It's very important that you hand in your books and that everything is up to date. Okay, guys, keep well. Bye.